Okay, so this is the ET packet that you should be doing on, what's today? Today is actually the 16th, but you're going to be doing this on April 17th, and you will be doing this with a partner. It says flip a coin, record capital A if it lands on heads, and if it lands on tails, put a little a. You can just use either an actual coin, if there's one available, or you can just use the link in Google Classroom to flip a coin for you. Either one is fine. You're going to get the same results. What I would do right off the bat is you see that there's two columns right here. I'm going to add kind of like a third column for the actual genotype. Okay, I'm going to add it over here as well. So at the end, it looks like that. We kind of have a third column here. Now, I already did this randomly with the coin flipper thing on Google, and I flipped the coin once, and it gave me a tails, which meant that I had a lowercase a. Now, your results are going to be different, so do not put this unless yours, by some chance, shows up with tails first. I did it again, I got heads. So I had AA. Now, even though little a is first, my genotype is actually going to be big A, little a. So I'm just combining these two. My coin flip for one, my coin flip for two. So this is my traits for the body is big A, little a. Okay. And so I went through and I did all this. So here's my little data. And I did do this at random. I didn't pick which different traits I thought I might want. I simply just did the coin flip app, and that's what I got. And eventually, I had this entire chart filled out. So as you're going through this, you're going to, let's say I got A, big A, little a. This one was actually, for the legs, was two little a's. And again, yours are going to be different. I'm just going to go ahead and fill this in. Oops, that's big A, little a. This one was actually two big ones. This was homozygous dominant. Whatever this is, whatever the big A means, I don't know. See, for this one, I got big A, little a. So this third column is simply just your genotypes, because that's what you really are looking for. This was two big A's, whatever that is. And then these were actually, I got four tails right in a row. But remember, these events are independent of each other. It was just a random coin flip app. So, yeah. Now, it says, using the alien traits page and the genotypes in your table, make a drawing of your alien. So I'm not going to actually use this quite yet. You need to flip it over to page 5. And you are going to see a whole page of alien traits. Now, this side, the left side, is always going to be dominant, and the right side is going to be recessive. So looking at what you got, and I'm just going to use this chart because it's the same data. My body trait was going to be a big A, little a. Okay, so that was my first one. So I'm actually just going to write it above here. I kind of went in and I filled stuff out before I kind of started on it, and that's what I kind of ended up with. So you go through, and if I got big A, little a, it means that I have the dominant body trait. So I know my body shape for my alien is going to be this, and this is going to be interesting looking. I know my aliens have always looked weird. Let's see, for my head it was AA, so again I'm going to have the dominant trait. Legs was, from looking at my table, was actually two, and you are going to have to flip back and forth to what you had before. In this case, I had two little a's, so I actually had the recessive trait in this case. Eyes was what? Big A, little a, which was that one. Mouth was two big A's, still the dominant trait. The nose was A, so dominant. Arms, what are we looking at? Arms was two big A's. If it's just easier to circle it, that's fine. Ears, so my ears and my back were both the recessive. They were both little A's. Okay. So these are the traits of my alien that I'm going to draw here. So on the front page, the data collected from this side is going to go here in this picture. Okay. So now, working with another person, you're going to have to share data. So when it says, use two ET tables to record, use two ET's data tables to record the genotypes for each of your traits along the tops and sides of the Punnett square. So you and your partner's tables from page 4. So looking back at this, page 4. So it doesn't matter. You or your partner can always be the person on top or the side. It doesn't matter. So in this case, I'm just going to use my data and put it along all the tops of the Punnett squares. So if I'm looking at body shape, the head, my genotype was AA. So I'm just going to fill this in, big A, little a. Okay. And let's see, my head was big A, little a. I'm under head shape, big A, little a. The legs are 2 little a's, so 1, 2. Let's see where I'm at. Eyes was big A, little a. Mouth was 2 big A's. And again, this data is coming right from here. I'm just using all these genotypes. In this case, I'm just splitting them apart and putting them on top of my Punnett squares. Now looking at, where am I at? Which one am I on? Oh, I'm on my nose. Nose is going to be big A, little a. Then I have 2 big A's, little a, little a, little a, little a. And that data, again, comes from right from here and right from here. Then your partner is going to fill in the same information. So you and your partner will have the exact same Punnett squares. And then to figure out what alien, which one you are going to draw, always pick the, let's see, what do I want? I'm kind of debating this as I go, because on the back, you were going to make, using the alien's trait page and genotypes and the Punnett squares, make a drawing of your alien offspring. So just do whatever trait is in these boxes. Okay, so if I have a baby, this little baby, with this alien, let's say they are a. Okay, and obviously you're going to fill the rest of these in as well. A. You're going to be using this top left one to determine the body shape. So if I go back and I'm looking at this thing, like, okay, my body shape is still this one. So you're going to be using this chart twice for 2 kind of rounds. Let's say this one was A. And again, I'm still going to have the dominant trait, whatever that one is, which in this case is still this kind of weird looking shape. And you're just going to continue from there. Okay? Then your final baby, your final offspring, is going to be on here. Now, if you are looking at this and you're like, maybe I just really want this bottom one. As long as you're using the same one, so let's say you pick this one, make sure that you're using the same box each time. So don't just pick and choose which ones you want. So if you want to use this bottom right one, use that one. Make sure you use it all throughout. Ta-da!